South Africa have leveled the three-match series. It's now 1-1, and it's going to take it into a decider into the final match. It was a very, very clinical performance by South Africa, and we're going to be chatting about it on today's show. Of course, this is the review show. So, what was really good to see was that South Africa's bowlers really bounced back from the first ODI. Bangladesh this time they chose uh, to to go and bat first, like South Africa did in the first ODI. And once again, both captains making the incorrect decision. So Bangladesh went in to bat first and set South Africa pretty much a low total, and South Africa went to chase it down, not without any hiccups along the way. Of course, guys, there were some hiccups along the way, but ultimately a very clinical performance by South Africa. So we're going to be chatting about that on the show today. But I know that a lot of you guys are watching the show. Actually, there are about 48% of you guys that are watching the show without subscribing, and we are trying to get some views. Trying to get some subscribers here. We are close to that 3,000 mark. If you guys subscribe, if you're 48% of you guys subscribe, the guys that are watching, we will make it to that 3,000 mark. So please help us get to that by clicking that red button. Click that red button and click that notification bell for all future videos as well. But also don't forget to smash that like button, the guys that are loyal to us, because we need you guys to put us in the algorithms on YouTube. So smash that like button, comment, and share this with your friends and family if you like the comments that have been made on this show. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's content. I'm looking forward to what you guys have to say. Call in on the show, have your say on the show, as well as have your say in the live chat. The live chats get busy on these review shows, guys, so please get involved with the super chat if you really want an opportunity to have your views seen. So, guys, let's get straight into today's video. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid Maiden, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with South Africa versus Bangladesh, the ODI series. It's the second ODI series, guys, and as I said in the intro, South Africa have won this match by 7 wickets. Now, Bangladesh set a score of 194 for 9. South Africa were basically all over. No, not basically. They were all over Bangladesh's top order. Completely dominating them, particularly Kagiso Rabada, finding great movement, finding good pace, really hassling the Bangladesh batters. The entire top five were tumbled out for 34, and then they kind of crossed over to the 94-meter mark until they lost another wicket. But there was one man that stood up, one man that took the challenge to South Africa, and that was Afif Hussain. He really pushed on. He scored 72 of 107 balls, 9 fours, really batted well on this pitch. He was kind of helped out by Miraz as well with a 38, but ultimately it was Afif that really batted excellently. And yeah, we have to take our hats off to South Africa, though, for particularly Kagiso Rabada for his second fifer. 5 for 38 he took with an economy rate of 3.90. I love to read those figures out because the bowlers were excellent. And we even had a little bit, and even though Wayne Parnell, after taking a wicket, pulled up with a hammy, went off the field on the last ball of his third over, South Africa still managed to bowl Temba Bavuma until he hurt his finger, and Rassie van der Dussen taking his first ever wicket for South Africa. So it was quite a circus and quite a crazy day of cricket. But let's get your thoughts, Aditya, because we do have a caller already waiting for us. So let's get your thoughts and then we'll bring on the caller.
Well, this was obviously a much needed win for the Proteas after the shock defeat in the first ODI, and I think they needed all departments to really stand up and deliver. And of course, that happened when Lungi AD struck in the third over with Tommy McBall's wicket, and Kaki Sorabada then, of course, blew everyone away with some exceptional bowling. 10 overs, 5 wickets, 39 runs conceded. Those are outstanding numbers in these days, and Bangladesh just didn't stand a chance. It was clinical from the Proteas, as Temba said he wanted the team to be. And from a batting perspective, Quinton de Kock again. He comes in,
Mm.
he almost seals the game for them, with 62 or 41. Yanuman played the supporting hand, and then Kyle Verena really, showing excellent temperament to remain unbeaten at the end. When you have a low total like that and you've scored 50, you want to make sure that you're unbeaten. And Kyle did that fantastically well. So that partnership between Quinton and Yaneman, of course, was great. 86 runs, and then um, Kyle Verena and Temba Boom, another 82
Mhm.
run partnership, I believe. Fantastic.
Yeah. I want to get into a little bit more detail with the batting a little later on, Aditya. Maybe more callers will come on the show and they can discuss it with us. But we've got Ikram waiting for us. Welcome to the show, Ikram. What would you like to say about this particular win from South Africa's point of view? First and foremost, where are you from?
Yes, hello everyone.
Mm.
I'm originally from Free State. I'm currently in Bloemfontein, so
Okay.
I'm from the Free State.
Okay, nice. So, how
Yes.
are you feeling after this particular victory?
Uh, I would say I'm relieved. There's still a lot of improvement from the Proteas, like that needs to be done, and I don't think so. It's good that we won the match, but it was not a satisfying victory. And it's good to see that Kyle Verena and Quinton de Kock also put up some runs and got us through. But there is still a lot of room of improvement.
Where do you think those areas of improvement are? I was talking to a teacher earlier on, and I mean, for quite some time, for example, there is something that I've seen improved, and that is the rotation between the wickets. At least South Africa are getting a little bit more accustomed to it with Carl in the team. I think he's added maybe that ability for players to be able to rotate the strike, etc. I know a lot of people were talking about Carl. I'll talk about it a little later on. But from your perspective, Ikram, where do you feel that we still need to improve?
Mm, for me, I'd say it's still the batting section. Like I think we need to improve from opening till middle order, even tail enders. It's just about building up partnerships. Okay, rotation of strikes, you're right about it, but also like at times when you need to hit like the big runs like sixes and fours, the Proteas are not doing it as often, and at times it feels like they're playing a test innings in ODI. Let's say if you have like 1 or 2 overs, if you go slow in an ODI, it is okay. Like maybe you want to keep your wickets for a while. From that point, it could be okay, but
Mm,
if you do it like for like 5, 6 overs, like how they did it in the first ODI, it does become problematic.
mm.
And
That,
also, Khalid, I also have a question regarding the ODI performance for the Proteas.
mhm.
So, do you think that playing fewer ODIs after the 2019 World Cup is affecting the Proteas' approach to this format? Is
I,
quite
I def I definitely do, because I think that what happened with the ODI specifically is that, like I said before this WSL points were counting for something. I'm talking about before that already. South
yes,
Africa were in that limbo, I would say, between focusing on T20 cricket or focusing on ODI cricket. Now, in T20 cricket specifically, especially when it came to quotas, etc. A lot of the times, what we would see happen is the T20s would have been used as a place to add more players of color. So, majority of the time, they would put all the players of color in the T20 side, and they would focus more on the ODI side. Those roles almost reversed in a way, and they focused more on T20s with the World Cups coming. So the ODI format kind of took a backseat. Now we have a 2023 World Cup to plan for. and another T20 World Cup around the corner. So I feel they're trying to balance the players and get the right players in with the right form in the right positions leading up to both tournaments. Trying to juggle both preparation is quite difficult. And I can start to see parts and parcel of it. Like there's certain parts of it that you can see us building and growing and improving on. So we're not there yet. We're not 100% there yet, but it's good to see the younger guys like Marco Janssen, for example, Test cricket. We're seeing Calvarena now in this format stepping up and putting on performances, doing what they did at domestic cricket. So it's good to see that we are finding cricketers, thinking cricketers, and guys that can think on their feet and in certain positions. So, yeah, I do think that the ODI format did take a little bit of a backseat for a while, but I think it's starting to gain momentum. The mere fact that we've chosen this format for the players from the IPL to play, and it shows that they do care about this, and now it does mean for something with the points.
Yeah. And like also another thing that needs to be said is that South Africa still has they have some tough series ahead for the ODIs. That they have, I think so, India at away and Australia away, and we have quite few points on the table. So I think, let's just say, if they fail to pick up points, we should not be surprised if they are unable to get an automatic qualification, and they have to be like completely ready for the qualifiers if such situation occurs. I hope
Yeah.
not.
That's why it's so important that we win the series. And we were so confident
Absolutely.
about it beforehand, about this 3-0. But okay, thank you, Ikram, for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Aditya, do you want to say anything before he gives?
Yeah, actually, I wanted to answer his question um about the lack of ODI cricket, affecting the South African team, and I think generally that's affected world cricket because if you look at the brand of cricket that's been played, in ODI series across the world, not a lot of teams have been able to crack it. India, for example, is a very good ODI team, but if you look at the performance in Australia last year, I think they conceded 380 runs in two consecutive ODIs. And that was disastrous because they stuck with this five-bowler strategy that had worked for them previously, but it didn't work for them now. And I think generally the manner in which teams approach ODI cricket has changed significantly because of the influence of T20 cricket. So that's why teams like England, for example, they're looking to go slam bang from ball one to ball 300. And obviously that was something that started in 2015, but over time it seemed to be the sort of approach that a lot of other teams are trying to employ as well, and perhaps in this post 2019 period that's what they're going to try to do.
Yeah, thanks for answering the question, Aditya.
Thank you, Ikram. Thanks for coming on the show, bro. And I hope you come on again in the future.
All right, thank you.
Yes, thank you. Cool. Okay, I'm gonna bring on the next caller straight away. I think that is a good idea. We've got Mask Boy. Welcome to the show, bro. Where you from?
Hello Khalid, hello Aditya.
How you doing?
I am fine. I am from Kolkata, India.
Excellent, excellent. What would you like to say, bro?
I just wanted to ask about the difference between the captainship of Themba Bavuma and the other captains who has done the captainship of Proteas team in the past, like Graham Smith, A.B. de Villiers, or Quentin de Kock or Faf du Plessis. So, what is the specific difference in Themba Bavuma's captainship style?
Cool. I can answer specifically for two captains that or at least three captains that I've watched now a lot, like a lot of, and that is specifically AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis, and now I'm talking about Themba Bavuma. Now, we had a conversation, me and Aditya, actually on this channel, an interview with his school boys, the school team, sorry, his alma mater, the coach over there. And he coached both, obviously, AB, Faf, Dewald Brevis now as well is involved with. So we had a
Yes.
conversation with him, and he had something very interesting to say. Now, when I watched AB de Villiers' captaincy in the past, before I interviewed this man, I said that it looked like AB de Villiers seemed to have a plan or paper with certain things that need to be done, like certain bowling orders and field placements and whatever the case may be. And he'd stick to it no matter what happened. Like it almost looked like he looked at a piece of paper and he would like, okay, this is what I need to do. Let me stick to it. We can't bowl this person now. We have to bowl. It didn't look like he improvised a lot on the field. Then we got Faf du Plessis. Faf du Plessis, a completely different type of captain, people's person. He could read moments and he could read emotions very well. So he could sense when KG needed another over. He could sense certain moments. That's what I loved about Faf du Plessis. He knew his team in and out. He was very much a very involved with people's emotions and what they think and what they feel. So what I like about Faf is he was very involved with the team and he brought that togetherness and the players trusted him and you could see the love that was in that team when Faf was captain. Temba Bavuma again is very tactical. Now, from my perspective, I think I like the way Temba rotates and is brave as well with his decisions that he makes. You can see with his field placement as well. Today, for example, Janneman standing leg side, for example, taking a catch. It was excellent a move for him to do that. If they just missed their line a little bit, they knew the batter is going to go for that ball down leg and they're going to strangle him and they're going to get a wicket. And so small little things like that, Temba Bavuma thinks on the spot. He's not afraid to try opening with someone new. He's not afraid to take off a bowler when they're not playing well. He's very honest and open. You could hear how he was with regards to his honesty and opening about Sasanda Magala and Sasanda Magala's weight and his fitness. Temba was very open and honest in the interview about it, very straight to the point, and that's what we get from Temba. So Temba does differ from all of them. I think he's a blend of multiple captains. I think because he's now starting to also find a way to show it on the field. I think Graham Smith, to me, he was a leader from the front on the field, performance wise. He could. When he walks into a room, everybody's attention's on him. You just know that something's going to happen. He had this aura about him. He had this respect about him from a young age already coming into that team and grew with the Proteas team. And what also gave him his strength, Graham Smith, is that he had this powerful dressing room of leaders with him. Shock Cullis, Herschel Gibbs, Mackay Tinis to Alan Donalds. Okay, maybe not to Alan Donalds so much, but I mean Sean Pollock, sorry. Vernon Philander. There's so many players that have played under Graham Smith that you could talk. Dale Steyn, for example. There's so many that played under Graham Smith that he knew how to manage that dressing room, which made him powerful. To manage a dressing room with that amount of stars in it, it's difficult. It's not easy to manage a dressing room full of stars like that. And Graham Smith did that wonderfully, and he just knew what to say at what time. He just naturally knew how to do that. Aditya, do you want to add to this?
Look, I think it would be difficult to compare Graham Smith and Temba Bavuma because Graham Smith captained ODI cricket at a time when it was significantly different to what it is today. So I don't know if that would be a valid comparison, but we can certainly compare AB de Villiers, Faf du Plessis, and Temba Bavuma. Again, I think AB de Villiers had quite a powerful ODI team, and he had game sense. But I think where I really find parallels between captains is between Temba and Faf. To me they're very similar because on the field both are tactically astute. They're ahead of the game and they're not afraid to trust their instincts. And off the field, they're very good with their team. They understand their team. They're very good people management skills, and when they were captain, Temba is captain, we know that the team plays for him. When Faf is the captain, we know that the team plays for him as well, and I'm sure we're going to see that at RCB in the IPL too. But I feel like Temba and Faf are very similar captains in my view.
Does that answer your question, Mossboy?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. We'll hope you call in again soon.
Okay, brother. Bye bye.
See you. Bye. Okay, so Aditya, what I want to talk about next is the batting. I wanted to talk a little bit longer about the batting. Guys, please smash that like button. Take that time to smash the like button. I want to see at least there's 22 people watching currently live. So please smash the like button. And I want to see more than 20, 20, 33, 40, 50 maybe people. Share it as well to all your friends and family. Let them come and stream over here as well. Let's talk about the batting performance. It's good to see Quinton de Kock come back into the team and play with such freedom. I really enjoy that from that perspective. I think it was good to see Quinton playing with a smile on his face and really enjoying himself in the middle. Now, my debate is going to happen with Yanaman again. Now, I've had this conversation about spin. I saw people mention it in the live chat. If you guys want your questions to be answered in the live chat, please get involved with the super chat. It is available right now. The super chat is available, so go ahead and get involved over there. There's the dollar sign in the bottom of the live chat. You can just click on it, and that's how you get your super chats in. With Yanaman Malan, why I saw as well why they're not necessarily pick him as often in the T20 arena as well is because you need to be instantly comfortable against spin in T20 cricket. Now, Yanaman isn't 100% ready against spin. Like I said, I've watched his progression. At first, he was completely out of it. He didn't know what was going on against spin. And then he started to learn more and more. He got picked in the Mzansi Super League. He got a little bit better at it. He started learning sweep shots. He started learning how to come maybe down the track a little bit more, playing a little bit aggressive. And then he started facing a lot more and a lot better spinners. And then he started getting bogged down again. But then he found a way in ODI, in one-day international cricket or in 50-over cricket, he found a way to if he has a lot of balls to play with, to mess around with and play with, he found a way to dig his way out of trouble. So against spin, he'd find a way to move, you'd see how he just digs the ball out or he moves the ball out. Sometimes he gets enough on it for it to go through and maybe misfield and get some runs. And he survives. He knows he's found a way to survive against spin. But now he needs to change that into actually dominating against spin. He gets away with it because at the other end, he might have a partner that is going to play well against spin, like Quinton de Kock, and you'll get an opportunity to bat deeper. So in certain areas where maybe there's not 2 or 3 spinners played, Yanaman Malan will be able to get away with it because you'll be able to bat deeper, and when the ball's older, you'll be able to punish and bat deep, and that's what he does well in ODI cricket. We now need him to be able to take that to the next level, learn how to play. If he had Aiden's spin game, because Aiden's really matured his spin game. Even Rassie van der Dussen in one-day internationals, he's really improved his spin game. Looking for that sweep shots, etc. If Yanaman Malan can start to find scoring options against spin, his whole game will change completely. And then he'll become a much more dangerous player. He is a dangerous player. He needs to work on his footwork. He needs to work out to move to the ball. He needs to learn of ways to score. Even if he doesn't score boundaries, at least he can rotate strikes. Very important that he does that. So Aditya, your point of view, let's talk about the batting. Let's start with Quinton. Let's start with Yanaman, those openers. And then we can go on to, someone else that I want to really focus on.
Well, Quinton, it was great to see him back today. And, he really looked relaxed and he looked like he was having fun, which is the kind of Quinton de Kock that typically want to see play for South Africa. So his knock was essential to ensuring that South Africa always ahead of the game. With Yanaman Malan, look, I think his confidence in general should be high. He's I think 220 odd runs from becoming the fastest to 1,000 ODI runs. That's a massive record. So he should generally be feeling pretty confident. And look, even the best of players get out to spin. Does he have a spin problem? Probably. I guess you won't see Yanaman score 25 runs off a spinner's over. So maybe that's mindset, maybe that's technical, and maybe he's getting stuck in the crease to spinner. Hopefully someone in that South African setup might be able to tell him that that listen, don't worry about getting out the spinner. That's okay. If you want to run down the pitch and try to hit the spinner over his head for six, that's fine. Sometimes I think that's just what you need, right? I can tell you a story from 1998 when um, Australia was going to play in India, and Shane Warne had obviously developed this massive reputation for being a game changer, and Sachin Tendulkar was captain of the Mumbai team, and he made sure that no one is overawed by Shane Warne. He said, I don't care if you get out, but if Shane Warne is coming to bowl, you're going to smack him out of the park. That was literally the attitude. and and obviously not everyone is great at playing spin. So I think my view is that someone needs to tell Yanuman Milan that you don't need to worry about spin too much. Just go out there and play your game with complete confidence.
Mhm. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, Yanaman. I mean, will get better. You will get better, but he needs to learn now quickly. I mean, 2023 World Cup is not so far away. He really needs to get that sorted out. I want to move on to someone else, and that is Kyle Verreynne. Now, Kyle's been moved around in this top order. Opened in the first game, and then now you could see he was almost there. I don't necessarily think that his game is explosive enough for the power play for him to open. I think he's a risky type of player. Very and a lot of people might not have thought that. They might have thought that they were getting a different type of player when Kyle Verreynne was around. But I've been watching Kyle for a very long time. He plays. His timing is amazing, and that's what makes him score boundaries, particularly sixes. He doesn't necessarily power it over the boundary. It's all about timing, flicking, and his wrist movement as well. I think he's a much more elegant type of player than a power hitter. So a lot of people will see that and start to see that now. He can find gaps really well. He can rotate the strike. I like his ability to be able to rotate the strikes and find gaps and play in areas where there are gaps. Um, is really good, and you saw that today, particularly him and Timber Bavuma, the way they were playing together at the crease. So it was good to see that. Um, I know there's someone here. Werner wants to probably talk about the batting as well. So yeah, he's joining in on the show. Welcome to the show, Werner. But yeah, I was very impressed with Kyle Verreine's approach today. Okay, towards the end, I was sitting on the couch after he got his half century, and I was like, "Come on, just play have some fun here. Hit a couple of boundaries, maybe go for a couple of shots. There's a rotation of the strike to get one run off at a time when you have 22 runs on the board. Still needed. I mean, come on, guys, go for a couple of boundaries. No, but they just rotated the strike, got over the line easily, and then Rassie van der Dussen come in to do what Rassie van der Dussen does, and to keep his average nice and high. Another not out under his belt. Good for him. But okay, Werner, I want to get your thoughts on first Janneman and then Kyle. Let's get your thoughts.
Yeah. So I know Janneman isn't the best against spin, and we talk about it quite a lot, but he has improved quite a bit as well. I think he needs to shelve that sweep shot until he's very late into his innings. It isn't a natural shot for him. It's the same with Aiden Markram. The sweep shot, they can play it, but it isn't a natural shot like it is for a Quinny or a Rassie. It's not the type of shot they should use within their first 20 balls, I would say, because it doesn't come natural. So they try and manufacture it, and it doesn't always come off. But I do want to point out that he made 121 against Sri Lanka in Sri Lanka when they played three spinners in Hasaranga, Dhananjaya De Silva, another person. But they had three spinners, and he made 121 of like 130 odd balls. So he has the ability to adapt, even if there are spinners playing, and even good spinners, because we all know Hasaranga is a very good spinner. So I don't think it's like a deal breaker, really. I don't think it's such a major issue as we might be making of it. Verreynne has always impressed me.
Before you get to Verreynne, I just want to add to the Janneman. So that's why I did say that, like, I can see where he was when he started and where he is now. He's rather than found a way to play against spin, he's found a way to survive against spin. currently that's basically what he's found a way to do. Now he will get the occasional boundary in there, but majority of the time he survived, and it was the it was his partner on the other end that would maybe take the attack to the spinners, not necessarily him. So he has found a way. He has improved and he's getting better. And I'm sure that moment will change where maybe it is the third ODI where he might get that opportunity to have that switch and really get a good performance in. Because it's fine for Yanaman to go through the patches that he goes through if there are other batters batting well and winning you matches. But if everybody's performing poorly, then it's going to be a problem. And normally, Yanaman is the guy that does that when the rest of the players are failing. He normally carries the innings. So I'm happy with Yanaman in the team. I don't think it's an alarming factor that we're going to start thinking, oh, no, we need to change the opener. No. I think his position is quite certain for me as the opener for this side. And that's just something that he will learn slowly. And if he is struggling, learn how to rotate the strike. That's the first thing that he needs to learn. That's why I said he needs to learn some scoring options against spin. He's found a way to block it out and he learns how to survive against it and get a couple of boundaries now and again. But now he needs to learn how to score off it quickly, to rotate strike, especially when it's a great spin bowler coming at the other end. At least he knows that he can just get off strike and give it to someone else that is more comfortable. Okay, Vern, you can continue though.
Yeah, no, it's true. I think it does count for a lot of batters, and a lot of batters on the domestic front right now as well. A lot of them get stuck against spinners in the Momentum One Day Cup. Oh no, it's not the Momentum, it's the One Day Cup still. And even in the T20 series down in at St George's, it was the same thing. They did well against the pace, and at the moment the spinners come on, they do get stuck and struggle to rotate the strike. So it's something most of our batters can work on. Kyle Verreynne, yeah, I've always enjoyed the way he goes about. A very busy batsman. Also needs a little bit of time to get himself going, get his footwork going. He's always a little bit scratchy those first 10 balls, and it feels like he could probably get out there, but the moment he gets set, he looks so much better and ease at the crease, hits the gaps, gets the boundaries. Just a real natural, nice, solid behind the stumps. If you thought today you didn't really know about him behind the stumps, then he's doing his job as keeper, because if you're not seeing anything, that means he hasn't missed anything. So he does his job very well behind the stumps when it is, again, bad example, obviously today he didn't keep because he kept, but in the first game. But yeah, I enjoy his batting. I don't know if batting him at 3 is necessarily my ideal place for him, just because I don't like Rossi coming in at 5. I still have this thing about Rossi coming in so low. This guy averages 75. He can control your whole innings, can see you through, and then hit big at the back end. But he's coming in at 5, and it's still. I feel like Verreynne could come in at 5, but you also don't want him too late because he's more of an accumulator and hits some boundaries rather than a finisher. So it's a bit of a catch-22 with this lineup. We have a lot of those in the middle overs or middle order. We have Temba and Verreynne and Rossi. Rossi can obviously hit big as well, but he also takes his time to get going before he really unleashes. So, and it feels like it's all going to come down to Miller at the end, unless we have a set Rossi with him. And that's kind of a problem I feel still within our lineup.
It's almost set up for a good opening partnership. Like, that's how the team's set up.
Yeah, we need a good opening partnership, and then we need Rossi to do what he has done and bat through, and then go big at the end with Miller. But then it feels like that's like all it boils down to at this moment. I feel we need some more impetus at the back end. I do still feel like we need another batter with Miller, somebody like a Tristan Stubbs or whoever it might be, to just give us that boost in the middle overs and towards the back end. But I guess it's not such a huge deal in ODIs as it is in T20s. I think in T20s we're definitely going to have to look towards another striker coming in. But in ODIs you could still probably get away with it unless you're chasing 360, 370, which in most cases hopefully we won't if we bowl well and not bowl like we did in the first match at the back end. So I guess I'm making a bigger issue out of it than it is. In ODIs you can still have a few accumulators in the middle order.
Yeah, it's a little bit different, in audience, and that's why I said, like, we are a little bit set up for that type of a good setup. Like they were speaking about it in the first ODI with Miller. They're like, yes, Miller, it's good for Miller to come in at when he did, but he would have hoped he'd come a little bit later than what he did to the crease. But like ultimately, ODIs is enough overs for them to come in and do well. I think it was decent from at least Kyle and Quinny. Good performances. Temba, unnecessary shot to go out to at that particular time. You just needed to rotate the striker early and get the tick of the runs. Wasn't necessary for that. But yeah, it's all to play for in the final game. We've got Hano at the back end here to have a quick say. Welcome to the show, Hano.
Hi, I'm late.
How are you doing?
I'm without any complaints. I'm just happy that we basically just returned to normal and that it looks like the cricketing world is a little bit back to its original state.
To be fair, Hanu, we started normal as well. We started slowly, so nothing changed.
That is correct, yes. I just would like to mention that I think that all the advances we've made from the past and the limited overs culture that we had just to have a battery of quicks, doing the business and mixing it up with good spin has really, been one of the few extra arrows in the quiver that we've been able to produce in the last 5 years. And to just discard it from the previous match, with an orthodox spin option, I felt was, a little bit, counter what we've achieved, building so hard on that as a culture who relies on fast bowling. So I really would like to have a situation where we could actually have three spin options, if not in this series, but soon for the World Cup.
It's a pity, Aditya, for example, that we didn't get to see Wayne Parnell bowl out his overs and really see what he can bring. I know we only saw 3 overs of him. He got a wicket. It would have been nice to see more of him, especially also with a bat. I would have liked to see what he can do with a bat at international cricket if he still has it, because then he could possibly be an upgrade of Andile Peklikwayo currently when you're looking at that position as a bowling all-rounder.
100%. I think that's been a bit of a conundrum for South Africa because Andile has been the preferred option for a while, and with his batting, certainly, his strike rate has been the subject of a lot of debate. With Wayne Parnell, he's much improved batter, and it would have been very interesting to see how he went with the bat because that's a key position in modern day cricket where teams are often setting and chasing 350 plus targets. You need to bat as deep as possible. So if your number 7, number 8 batter can strike well, then that's a definite advantage for the team. So yeah, it was quite disappointing to see Wayne Parnell have, I think, what was it, a hamstring injury, and we can only hope that he'll recover soon.
Werner, this is probably why you stress so much that we have that extra bowling option in the team, eh?
Oh well, we have Temba Bavuma and Rossi, so what do I know? So we're clearly sorted as long as Temba doesn't injure his fingers and Rossi has oiled his shoulder. We should be all a-okay, right? But no, I'm joking. It's obviously a different situation. If they had to come in and we were in a similar situation in the first match where we hadn't picked up a wicket yet, it would have been a lot different because coming in after you've already taken 5 wickets and the Bangladeshis are looking to regroup and just work their way towards those final overs is a lot easier than to do it. Yeah, I knew I got so confused with what was going on behind you right now. I thought I was tripping up. But in any case, yeah. So it's we do need an extra bowler probably, but we can get away with it if we. Yeah, I don't know if Temba Bavuma and Rossi Fondadesan as a 6th bowling option is a long-term solution necessarily. But then again, who else are we going to bat in that top 6? Because Verena is doing the job he has to do. Rossi does. Temba's the captain. Quinny and Milan are a great opening partnership. Miller at 6. So who else? That's probably the top 6 we will play. So I don't see it changing.
It's strange that they haven't played Dwayne Pretorius, but it's been consistent that they haven't picked him in ODI cricket. They preferred Andile in ODIs and Dwayne in T20s. That's been consistent recently. I know. Do you think that Wayne Parnell maybe tips Dwayne because of the extra pace and the left arm option, or what is your reasoning behind him? Why do you think they played Wayne Parnell today? We know why Andile wasn't playing, because he hasn't been great at all. He's been very poor over the last couple of games for a long time now. But Wayne Parnell over Dwayne Pretorius, what's your thoughts on that?
Decided to elect Wayne Parnell, and the reason being is what I felt was our weakness in the first loss was the fact that nobody could create pressure on either side. The best economy rate for the first match was Keshav, I think, just at 5.6, just a touch below the average of the entire innings of Bangladesh. So that means nobody was able to create that type of pressure that we needed to get wickets. And Wayne Parnell is not known for his economy, rather for his ability to, to be a fast left arm swinger and almost like a bit of a loose cannon in many ways if you look at the inconsistency that his career has been characterized. So I was quite flabbergasted, knowing that Dwayne's got an economy rate in ODIs of 4.83. And that's something you would like to, capitalize on, especially he's a contracted player. He's not playing tests. Then why leave him out if he's been so successful for us in the recent World Cup, being thrown at the deep end, bowling at the death? That's another area where we were hopeless, on Friday, where we probably lost the game. 40 overs in, we had them, down and out. And we just needed a knockout blow. And because no death bowling was effective from any of our options, they managed to accelerate and, post a score. I think they made more than 100 and something just from the last 10 overs, considering what they did in the first 40. I felt that was criminal, and Dwayne Pretorius would have certainly not, if he was selected, I don't think that would have happened.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna get your final thoughts. I'm gonna go to Werner first, and then Aditya.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Dwayne Pretorius is very economical, but we don't know what Parnell would have done in this situation, because he basically filled that spot that Dwayne Pretorius would have played. So we can say that, but maybe Parnell would have also done a good job, but we wouldn't know because he got injured. But yeah, so it's good to see us bounce back in the second match. Like I said in the previous review show, I said I fully expect us to bounce back well after again starting off poorly. So hopefully they do take some momentum into that match at Supersport Park. It should be a good one again. Hopefully we play a lot better this time there. I do expect us to. I thought today we missed out on an opportunity to still keep Janssen in ahead of somebody like Maharaj. I don't think we needed two spinners at the Wanderers, honestly. And I said this before the game as well. I thought that Janssen would be good at Wanderers with the extra bounce. He would have really troubled the Bangladeshi batters. And it ended up being Maharaj going for 57 in his 10 overs and not taking a wicket. Not really big through his own fault, but it wasn't too much in a wicket for orthodox type of spinner. Shamsi did very well, obviously, 26 runs, took a wicket. I just don't want us to get into a situation where now Maharaj is the number one bowler or spinner just because he's been made vice captain. I really hope we don't go with it like that, because if we get on more pitches like this, Shamsi, if you're going to play one spinner, it needs to be Shamsi. You can't pick one spinner and it's just Maharaj and leave Shamsi out like in the first match, which didn't make sense to me. So I really hope that's not the route they're going. We need to play Shamsi every match in ODIs and T20s, without a doubt. So hopefully they do realize that. I do expect us to probably stick with the same 11 going into Supersport Park. But yeah, Shamsi needs to be in number one spin bowling pick in limited overs cricket.
Going back to the original topic of discussion, it's a fantastic win for South Africa, particularly after that first ODI, which I thought was quite a disaster, to be honest, because all departments didn't really fire on that day, so it was very important for them to fire today, and they did fantastically well to do that. At this point now, I also feel like it's important to remember that Aiden is still around. I know he's been criticized a hell of a lot, and his form has been scrutinized. But you look at Rassi bowling and you look at Temba bowling, and I feel like that comes from a sense of desperation because you lack that sixth bowling option who can give you those overs. So I do hope that there is an improvement in Aiden's ODI game, and hopefully the IPL will be that break that he probably needs to sort out his technical flaws, and who better than Brian Charles Lara to help him through it.
Okay, Hannah, I'm going to give you a final say.
Look, I just want to say the selections have been quite baffling given the squad that we do have and the options that are available to us. If not for the first ODI, then certainly, after diagnostics made on the clear areas where we were outdone on Friday. I think we addressed it to a degree, but not properly.
Entirely.
It's a case where I just feel that the selectors are not in touch with exactly the diagnostics of what is required and what we have available in the team. I agree with Werner and Aditya. Certainly, when there's only one spinner available to us, Tabras Samsi is not only the most economical bowler in one-day cricket for us, he's also the talisman and the wicket taker. He's 2 in 1, and thank heavens that the IPL hasn't snatched him up because he is worth his weight in gold. He should play every time. And yes, Aiden Markram, yes, of course, to regain his form. And Dwayne Pretorius has been given a contract. Why is he not playing? He's been our standout performer at the last World Cup. What has been the Proteas Achilles heel for 9 World Cups? The fact that nobody is standing up in the World Cup, or when we are in search of those players, they are found wanting. Dwayne Pretorius, Lance Houston, we can count those guys for the Proteas in 9 World Cups, on ODIs, who has actually managed to do that. And Dwayne is the latest example. He's fit, and it looked like Wayne Parnell may not have been fit. Perhaps he had a pre-existing condition. I hope I'm wrong. It just seemed that he was obviously not required for us to right the wrongs from Friday. And I think we could do a lot better if we just apply ourselves a little bit more closely in terms of a selector and player and condition synchronization.
Yeah, I think also Dwayne would have probably done a better holding job than Keshav Maharaj actually in this match. Maybe even taken a couple of wickets. You can have a seamer that plays a holding role too. He doesn't have to be a spinner. As long as they go for little runs and they don't concede much and they can maybe get a wicket or two, you're in the money then. You have a perfect bowler that can hold up a end.
You know what's bugging me? We still have a guy named Faf du Plessis who still wants to play ODIs and T20s, and he's gonna captain RCB. And it's like he's just a forgotten man in the selectors' minds. It's like, well, we're just not gonna select him ever again. No send off, no nothing. Great, you were a fantastic captain, but the moment you decided to retire from Test, we decided no, you're not going to be picked ever again. It's just still feels so strange to me. As I'm sitting here thinking about Anu saying Dwayne Pretorius has an IPL contract, and obviously as does Faf du Plessis, and not that he necessarily is needed in the IDI setup right now, but just it's still crazy to me. By the way, Aditya, what do you think about Devot Bevis in a Mumbai shirt?
It's a perfect environment for him to grow because Rohit Sharma is quite a relaxed sort of leader, a phenomenal tactical brain, and the environment around there is just ideal for a young player to grow. Um, so I think Devo Brevis is only going to grow from strength to strength, and it'll be interesting to see if he manages to get some game time, through his time at Mumbai. But there's no doubt that whether he plays or not, he's going to come out a better player.
If he plays, I'm a
Agreed.
Mumbai Indians fan.
I actually think they might do. Might go the Marco Janssen route. Give him 2 matches, just give him a feel, and then keep him on the bench for the rest of the season. Work on him.
The thing is,
Sorry,
I
man.
don't think
He's just savage. Sorry, guys. I just want to show you this. Look at this guy. He's savage. But Buma ball better than what Pekelkwai. Maybe Pekelkwai tries to so many tricks with his ball. Hence the reason for him being so inconsistent. Let's not get to the other story. Other story that caught my eye that made me laugh. Sorry, Aditya. Continue.
I think Mumbai isn't the sort of team that actually needs too many overseas batters. I think they've got a strong core of batters anyway. With Pollard and Tim David and Rohit Sharma, Ishan Kishan, Surya Kumar Yadav, and all these guys. A massively strong team anyway. So if Devold gets an opportunity, I think it'll be brilliant. If he doesn't, he'll still learn a lot. But I would love to see him get an opportunity for Mumbai.
Yeah, I don't think they need him.
Sky on one end, Devold on the other end. Ooh.
I don't think they need him either, and I don't think he's going to play most of the season. But I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 1 or 2 games right at the beginning, just to give him a feel of how it is, and then have him in the environment. I think he's going to have the biggest smile throughout the whole tournament. And who knows, maybe they play him a game and he even bowls an over of leg spin. He'd love that.
But he's the perfect investment for Mumbai because he's going to be there for 5, 7, 10 years for sure. Mumbai likes to retain its cores. Yeah, they like to retain a core, and most of the players that have been there since 2011 are there. Like Kyron Pollard, for example, he's been there since 2009, I believe. So
I want to see Tristan Stubbs in the T20 series in June against India, and him making some good runs there, and then being in the next IPL season as well. I think it's going to do a lot of good.
Yeah, Tristan Stubbs is an India match away from making the IPL. If they, for example, if the T20 challenge was like broadcasted in India, I think it might have. I think that would have put him on the radar. Yeah, so that would have put him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That put him on the radar. But I think a performance against India or against the SA or India A team or something, I think is that close to getting noticed.
Definitely. And can you imagine how it must feel to have to play like Mumbai versus Chennai or something like that, and have 330 million people watch you in a game? That's more than the population of the United States of America. It's about 5 times the population of South Africa, and more than so many other countries. That's insane. That's among the that's comparable to like football games, in the English Premier League and so on.
Just the experience he's going to get, or Devil's going to get. I mean, being in an environment where Sachin Tendulkar comes in and goes out, you have Jayawardena. I never really knew how to pronounce his surname. It always differed from commentator to commentator, but it's just the environment is crazy, and he's going to learn so much. I think he's going to come back to the Titans, and they're going to use him in every match from there on out because he's going to be such an asset.
Oh. Just to
Sorry for going off subject.
No, it's fine. It's cool. Lorenzo, just to tell you, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because what you said was funny. I think because it's true as well, because he did it all better. But I mean...
and then Yanaman dropped the catch. He dropped 2
yeah,
catches.
he would have had a wicket.
I just thought back to Temba Bavuma's first ball in Test cricket. You know, that short pitch delivery that kept low and struck Kawaja on the shins. And all went in of a pure. And I was like, yes, Bavuma has a wicket off the first ball. And he overstepped with those short legs of his.
Yeah, anyway. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Thank you, Arno. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Werner, for coming on the show. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos as well. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on your screen as well as in the description. We also have a Patreon account. You guys can get involved there too. The link is on the screen as well in the description. If you want to help us improve, you want us to grow as a channel and get better and better, and maybe one day get a studio in, God willing, then you get involved with the Patreon account, and maybe we can get that down the line. That would be excellent if you guys can help out and join the family and be a part of this. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your week. I know that from a South African point of view, I know it's a public holiday for us. So all of you guys enjoy your day off, and the rest of the guys, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care.
Raced up before the women's game on Tuesday morning.
Yeah, definitely. Cheers, guys.